We've all had different experiences when it comes to learning and teaching how to read. As parents and educators, it is important for us to help students learn to crack the code of reading. To do this, we need to deepen our understanding of the English language. In this video, we're going to discuss what the 6 syllable types are and how they're helpful to teach students how to read. Before we can think about the syllable types, we need to first make sure that we have a clear understanding of what a syllable is. So, what is a syllable? A syllable is a word or word part that contains one vowel sound. For example, let's look at the word magnet. It has 2 vowel sounds, so it has 2 syllables. Notice that I said vowel sound, not necessarily the vowel itself, as in the letter. We're going to come back to this and explore this in just a moment. One way you might determine the number of syllables in a word is to clap your hands for each word or word part that you hear. For example, if I wanted to determine the number of syllables in the word basket, it would look like this: bas-ket. Another way you can determine the number of syllables is by placing your hand under your chin to count the number of words or word parts. Here's a bonus. Why do you think placing your hand under your chin works? So let's do some practice before we actually answer that question. So I'm going to give you some words and I want us to determine how many syllables are in these words. You can either count them out by clapping or by placing your hand under your chin. Okay, so here's the first word. We have baby. 2. Elephant. 3. Snake. 1. Trophy. 2. And then finally chair. 1. So let's go back to the question that I posed. Why do you think placing your hand under your chin works? Well, it's simple. All vowel sounds distinguish themselves from consonants because they all require us to open our mouths. So by placing your hand under your chin, you're counting how many times your mouth opens. Now that we're clear on what syllables are and how to determine how many are in a word, let's move into the 6 syllable types, which is the focus of this video. We know that reading is a complex process for many reasons, but one of the primary reasons when learning to decode is that the vowels have more than one sound. For example, think about the letter A and how many different sounds it can make. Understanding the syllable types helps readers predict the vowel sound. So let's take a look at the 6 syllable types. We have closed syllables, open syllables, vowel consonant E syllables, vowel team syllables, R-controlled, and final stable syllables. With these 6 syllable types, more than 600,000 words can be categorized into them. All right, so let's get to it. We're going to first start with closed syllables because they're the most frequent syllable type in English. A closed syllable is a syllable that ends in one vowel and at least one consonant. Take a look at the word dog. It ends in one vowel and one consonant. You might hear teachers refer to words for beginning readers as CVC words. These types of words fall under this syllable type because, as you can see, the pattern fits the description of a closed syllable. It ends in one vowel and one consonant. Although CVC words do fall into this category, there are other possibilities beyond a CVC pattern word. Notice that I emphasized at least one consonant in the definition. So let me show you what I mean. The words math and hatch both end in one vowel, but they each have more than one consonant. As you can see, the syllable can end in a consonant digraph or trigraph and still fit the description of a closed syllable. However, if more than one consonant follows the vowel, they don't have to be consonant clusters. They can just simply be 2 separate consonants, as in the word gift. Beginning readers will first learn to read closed syllables through practicing with one-syllable words. However, be reminded that we're working with syllables, not necessarily words. Therefore, A multisyllabic word can be made up of closed syllables, as in these words. Notice that each syllable still fits the description. They end in one vowel and at least one consonant. Each of these multisyllabic words is a combination of closed syllables. It is certainly possible for a multisyllabic word to consist of closed syllables as well as a combination of other syllables. Take a look at these words. If you notice, they each have one closed syllable, but are combined with another type. Now that we've got a pretty clear understanding of how to identify a closed syllable, we have to think about the vowel sound. If you remember, I shared early on that understanding syllable types helps us predict the vowel sound. Go ahead and take a moment to think about the vowel sounds in these words. What do you notice about the vowel sound in each of these closed syllables? If you said that they each have a short vowel sound, you got it. The vowel sound in a closed syllable is short. There is, however, an exception to this definition of a closed syllable that I want you to be mindful of before we move on. If you have a syllable that ends in one vowel and the letter R, it does not make the expected short vowel sound and therefore is not a closed syllable. So let's move on to our next syllable, which is the open syllable. An open syllable is a syllable that ends in one vowel. Just like with the closed syllables, open syllables can appear as a single word or a multisyllabic word. Notice how both syllables are open in these example words. However, open syllables can also appear in combination with other syllable types, just like in these examples. Take a look at these words. What do you notice about the vowel sounds in open syllables? If you said the vowel sound is long, you're correct. When we begin teaching reading, we often teach that a vowel in an open syllable is long, and we introduce the concept with words like hi, no, I, and me. While it is certainly true that open syllables make long vowel sounds, this only occurs in syllables that are accented. Think about it for a second. Words like article, protect, above, and behave all have open syllables too. They are all open syllables because they end in one vowel. However, they don't have the long vowel sound. Syllables that are open but are unaccented will have varying vowel sounds. So let's explore this concept. When we have the letter A in an open, unaccented syllable, we say that it gets rude and says When we have the letter I in an open, unaccented syllable, we say that it gets whiny and says I. The letters E, O, and U in an open, unaccented syllable are half long. So let's review. A vowel in an open, accented syllable is going to make the long vowel sound. A vowel in an open, unaccented syllable, that vowel sound is going to vary depending on which vowel sound it is. A vowel consonant E syllable is a syllable that ends in one vowel, one consonant, and the letter E, as in the word rake. You will often see this syllable abbreviated as the V-E to represent that this syllable can include any of the vowels followed by any consonant, but they all have the letter E immediately following. As you can see in these example words, all of them have the vowel consonant E syllable type. What do you notice about the vowel sounds in vowel consonant E syllables? The vowel sound in a vowel consonant E pattern is long. Notice that the E is silent and is only present to indicate the sound of the other vowel. If you recall when we reviewed what a syllable was, I really emphasize that in the definition, a syllable contains one vowel sound rather than one vowel. So here's an example of a syllable with two vowels, as in the letters, but we still only have one vowel sound. Let's take a look how the silent E changes the way that we pronounce this vowel. So shin becomes shine, not becomes note, and then pan becomes pain. We're now ready to explore our next syllable type. And the next syllable type is a vowel team. A vowel team is a syllable with two adjacent vowels. If you notice, these vowels are side by side in the same syllable. You may have heard the riddle, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. What this riddle teaches us is that when two vowels are side by side, as in this syllable type, the first vowel is long and the other vowel is silent. We can see that the riddle applies to words like eat, sail, tree, and grown. But what about words like sweat, or steak, or coin? What about boy? How about soup, chief, cloud, veil, and the list continues. This riddle simply isn't reliable enough to use for reading. Instead, we should be saying, when two vowels go walking, we need to pause and think about vowel teams and their sounds. The fourth syllable type that we're going to introduce is the R-controlled syllable. An R-controlled syllable is a syllable that has an R directly after the vowel, as in the word star. This syllable type is also referred to as vowel R. The vowel sound that can be made with this syllable type is pretty straightforward. As you will notice, each of these vowel R combinations can make the sound depending on how it is situated within the word. However, combination AR and combination OR can also make an additional sound. There are a couple of exceptions that need to be noted. When there are two R's after a vowel, the syllable doesn't follow the vowel R syllable sound. The other exception is when there is an E after the combination. The sixth and last syllable type for us to review is the final stable syllable. A final stable syllable is a syllable that ends in a consonant plus LE. There are other endings such as TION or SION that are also considered final stable syllables. The consonant that appears before the LE is typically what dictates the sound of the final stable syllable. Here are some examples and a keyword to help us produce the correct sound. Now that we've covered each of the 6 syllable types, let's quickly review. A closed syllable ends in one vowel and at least one consonant. An open syllable ends in one vowel. A vowel consonant E syllable ends in one vowel followed by a consonant and the letter E. A vowel team syllable has 2 adjacent vowels. An R-controlled syllable has an R immediately after the vowel. And then a final stable syllable is a consonant plus LE. So let's take a moment to apply our understanding of the 6 syllable types. I'm going to display a word or a syllable, and we have to determine which of the 6 syllable types does the word or syllable fall under. Let's go ahead and continue our learning in the comments. I want you to think about it for a moment. How does knowing syllable types help with reading? Tell us what you think and how this information will help you. Our hope is that you found this video informative. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Feel free to also check out our website for additional resources at ProLearningServices.com.